Watch This Shit podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. My name is Seneca, the movie professor. And today, I have my collaborator and cooperator here, Young Sam. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bruv.
Hey, it's Young Sam, aka the Movie Apprentice.
About to get into it. With this podcast, we're going to give you the definitive decision on whether you should go see a new movie or not. It's real easy. If we say, watch this shit, go out and enjoy some good cinema. If we say, don't watch this shit, avoid it as you would attempting to put out a fire with your bare hands. Or don't. You can do what you want. It may be fun, or you may end up with some fucked up paws. You don't want to listen to us, you put your life in your own hands. All right now, movie. You had some very big shoes to fill. Me and my homies were already calling you the Indian version of John Wick before release. In this film, the one that we are covering today, you, the movie, confirmed that's what you were trying to do by invoking the name of that glorious franchise. If you drop the ball on that shit, I'll never forgive you. Let's discuss as we review today's film, Monkey Man, the most unfortunate superhero name right behind Quail Man. The story is of that a monkey that has an insatiable appetite. He eats everything that he can see until one day he decides to eat the big golden apple in the sky. After devouring the sun, the gods become angry with the monkey. They bring him to them to answer for his crimes. After brief discussions, the gods cast the monkey from heaven and force him to atone on earth for his sin. Oh, hold on. Sorry. That's the story they keep going over to the characters in the movie. Also, forgive me if this is a real Indian religious story or deeply connected to the hearts of that culture. I didn't know it going, but maybe it had like a lot of the same points as Journey to the West does. Now, Journey to the West, I know. I don't know shit about this Monkey Man dude. But all jokes aside, the real story. Monkey Man is a fighter that throws matches at the behest of the promoter. He has lived from his early childhood until we see him with a deep-rooted grudge of revenge. During the film, he starts a horribly thought-out plan to, if it is a plan at all, to kill the man responsible for the death of his mother. All through the film, we get hints of his tragic past until eventually they say, fuck it, we want to show you the full 25-minute backstory. Monkey Man eventually has his target in his crosshairs, fails, has him again, and succeeds. Is there more to this basic-ass revenge story than I've laid out? Does it in any way live up to what not only we will compare it to, but to what the film itself tried to compare itself to in John Wick? All right. Dev Patel said, I know what I'm doing, so confidently with my acting. So on his directorial debut, he's going to lead and direct at the same time. Good luck with that, kid. I've seen more talented people fail. I get it. Sometimes you have to seize that moment and go for it. Honestly, I think he needed some help on the direction side. The acting is pretty solid. Dev plays Kid, the unnamed protagonist of this film. He wears a monkey mask when fighting in the arena because of the story his mother frequently told him as a child that I talked about earlier in the review. He doesn't show a lot of promise in the fight that we see him take a dive in. That leads me to believe that's why he was initially told by the promoter to always take a fall in the matches. People are betting, so it's a real fight, but it's kind of set up like WWE. Dev's life has been hard. Growing up in the slums of India after seeing his mother taken from him at such an early age. He has most likely had to steal and accept the fleeting kindness of strangers to make it to this point. I say likely because we don't get to see any of that shit. What we do get is Dev's quiet performance that conveys so much sadness. There are alternatively times when he is alone and he gets to let that rage peek out a little bit. He does well in these moments. The problem I have with this film, yeah, if you haven't guessed, I have some issues with it, is not with Dev's performance, but firstly with the story. The story is not focused. I'll list all the things that happen. Go with me. We get the flashbacks. The opening sees him as a cage fighter. He then scams his way into working the kitchen in a brothel. He flips that into serving drinks for the clients that go upstairs for the working girls. He uses that job to have his first fight with his enemy, loses, then retreats to a transsexual monastery before inhaling some sort of power to come back and secure his victory. Oh, and there's a religious leader that the antagonist works for that may be the enemy of the leader of the monastery. Those are just the major points. There's more. It's all over the fucking place. I think, no, I hope for the people that are more familiar with the Indian fable of the Monkey King that this makes more sense. Maybe it follows the same path as the story but makes it modern. Likely similar to like Dragon Ball did with Journey to the West, where they fucked up is they didn't have the high octane battles, potty humor, or energy blast of Akira Toriyama. RIP to a great. Except Dragon Ball Super. Fuck that shit. Sharlto Copley is in all of 7 minutes of the film. He plays the janky promoter of the fights. I expected more. He comes in, acts like a Vince McMahon type, then he's out of there. The fixed matches don't even play a huge part in the film. I may have made a huge mistake. I believe the fights, even though he was losing, were going to add to the reason why he was such an adept fighter. That was not the case. Even in the fights that he had, he was barely winning, if he did win at all. He was a punching bag for most of the movie. That would be okay if the movie did not try to sell itself as the Indian John Wick. Like I said, the movie tells us this. When the kid goes to purchase the weapon, they have a whole ass conversation about being like the Keanu Reeves led franchise. I wanted to pop in and say, nah, you failing. He even has a whole subplot where he gets a cute dog, trains it, teaches it how to sneak a weapon into his job. So many subplots. And the moments didn't fit into the puzzle. They were all janky and contorted. I could go on. But because we have Sam here, I'm gonna bring Sam in and maybe he can explain some of this shit. Maybe he can help me understand. Young Sam, are you familiar with or did you research the fable that leads the tone of this film?
I did not, because after I left the movie, it was just so bad. I was like, I forgot about it, honestly.
Uh-huh. Same thing happened to me. I wanted to know more for a moment, and then the movie pissed me off so much I said, fuck it. I guess I'll never know. What did you think about the action?
The action scenes, they were good. It reminded me a lot of John Wick as far as the action, but everything else was just very subpar.
I agree. And honestly, I really only liked one of the scenes, the one in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, where he fought his main enemy. That was cool, and it was pretty dope. But the rest of that shit seemed kind of bland.
I mean, the last one was well, not the final one, the one where the
That
tribe
where he
that he
fought the
was in,
couple. When they came in and
when they
helped.
came in. I mean, that was a pretty dope kind of setup, but overall, the bathroom was the best fight
Yeah, it
scene.
was. They had a whole 10-minute bit where they did pickpockets in the street. They stole the purse from Queenie. Remember, they stole the purse
Mhm.
and they passed the purse between hands. They passed
Mhm.
that fucking purse between damn near 32 different runners just so he could get a business card. It really seemed wasteful, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't like they was like swinging around, fucking scaffolding or anything. They were just passing a fucking purse.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I just want this business card, but let's pass it through 90 different people just to get it. Makes no sense.
It made no fucking sense. Speaking of wasteful, did he ever say that beautiful pitch from being a prostitute?
No, I don't think
Damn,
he did.
I don't
Like,
either.
I don't understand why she was there.
Yeah, same thing. That story went nowhere. It we didn't know anything about her. And I know, right, right. She was a side character, but I would like to have seen more interaction between them. Because he wanted her to be the love interest.
Mhm.
Damn, I don't know her name, but hello, nurse. You were underutilized. I hope you get better in the
Oh,
next movie.
was it, Sita? Was that her name, Sita?
Yeah, that's her name in the movie, but I don't know the actress name.
Oh, Sobita Dulapala?
Okay, there you go. There you go. I haven't seen her in anything else, so
Mm-mm.
maybe she'll get a better break. I don't know. Personally, I for real, this story seemed unfocused, like completely unfocused. Do you think that they really had a plan going into this movie?
Uh, I think that they had the plan of, let's be the Indian version of John Wick,
Mhm. How do we get
and
there
then
and
after
start?
that,
Mhm.
let's just make shit up and try to
That's
connect
what it felt like.
dots.
That's exactly how it felt.
Is
Yeah.
it like I said, the movie just literally made no sense.
There was right. No, I totally agree. That whole backstory being told for 25 to 30 minutes at the
Mhm.
back of the second act made the movie 25 to 35 minutes too long.
Yep.
They was already holding us too long. And we already got glimpses into the backstory that were more powerful than the full retelling.
Mhm.
Why? What are your thoughts on the reason they kept us in there long past a reasonable point for this film?
They had to bloat it. Like, it's I guess they felt that it needed more. I just have a feeling some movies nowadays, they try to hit that 2-hour mark. If they
Mhm.
don't hit that 2-hour mark, it's like something happens. Um, so I think that they were just trying to hit that 2-hour mark, so they just crammed a bunch of bullshit in there and was like, "Fuck it, here you go."
They need to stop doing that. I'm not opposed to long movies, but they better be damn good.
Mm,
I would like less of something good than more of something bad. That's stupid.
mhm. Shit,
Also, go ahead.
I was like, "Shit, Captain Marvel was like an hour and a half." Fuck.
Get that shit done. Get that shit done. They did Captain Marvel, they did all that cool shit in the first act of the film, right? They set
Mhm.
everything up. They did the body switching, cool. Then they got on with their little plot, and then they got on with their finale.
And got us the fuck out of there.
And get boom, let's go. And we had one scene that we didn't like, the little singing scene. Okay, it was cool. It was short. We stopped it, cut it off, and get us out of here. The fuck are we doing? Nothing worse than a story that goes on too long and is bad.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I really do. I think Dev Patel needed to accept some help. It's hard to be great at everything. I need Sam for the technical stuff. I could do it, but not nearly as well as him. I need J. Kim because I don't like bad movies. People need people need help to make their products better. He tried to take on too much.
But wasn't that why, Peel was there? Like, what was he doing?
Oh, this is what I think. This is what I think. I think that Peel was just a producer in name. He probably put some money up into it, but I don't think that they consulted him because think about it, when he created Get Out, he didn't star in that shit.
That's
He
true.
also had a tight ass story. Let me ask you this: did you detect his influence on this movie at all?
Um, I detected they were trying to
Hmm.
kinda have his influence, with that one weird fucking scene where his chest, like, split open, like, that was just fucking weird. So I felt like they tried to, like, channel him, but
Uh-huh.
it went nowhere.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, just like you said, I feel like it was more of an impersonation than a consulting.
Mhm.
Like they saw what he did and said, "Oh, we can do it," without asking him how to do it. And I've seen that happen a lot of times. Like the freaking Ninja Turtle movie, the one that came out in 2014, the bad one,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Michael Bay produced it. He didn't direct it, but if you look at that fucking movie, it looked like Michael Bay actually did it because they were trying to impersonate Michael Bay.
Hmm.
Yeah, he probably didn't. He probably just put his name on it and left the building.
Mhm.
I feel like Jordan Peele did something very similar, unfortunately. Yeah. But I will give credit where credit's due. Early on, they had some really tight ring shots. I think that they upgraded what Iron Claw was trying to do. I feel like I could see the action, but I was still close enough to feel like I was in it.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. Tell me how you feel about this. He looked amazing for a homeless person. Even after he got in fights and took real hits in those fights, he was still always clean afterwards. I believe that's another example of poor directing. What do you think, Sam?
Was he actually homeless though? Like we never seen this motherfucker go home.
No, so there was one time where he was sleeping under the stars and there was people laid all around him. That's where he lived.
When he was getting oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
He was homeless. He lived on the streets.
Oh. He was a clean street nigga
Thank you.
then. Like the ones
You
around
never
him
would have
looked
known.
the when he was the ones he was sleeping around with, they looked worse than him. I was like, they looked like they was homeless. He looked like
Uh-huh.
he was faking a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe he got to take showers at the arena where he fought in the matches,
Oh,
maybe. I guess. I don't
maybe.
know. But still, that don't make sense.
We don't even know why he was actually just fighting. Like,
That shit had nothing. It was so disjointed from what was
mhm.
happening. It was almost like separate movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's another fucking bamboozle. That's what happened.
Yep.
We got the rug pulled from under
Yep.
us again.
That's crazy. This has to be a record for a year, especially this early in, where they sell us something and do something totally different.
Oh, well, I just sit there and realized we
That's
got
crazy.
bamboozled again.
Oh my god. My other highlight was the prostitute girl. No, other well her for sure, but other than her, when he tried to jump out the window and he didn't go through. In most action movies, when the hero attempts to escape a dire situation, they crash out the window and get to safety. Here, that shit fell gloriously. He bounced
Mhm.
off that shit like he was trying to crash through a brick building. Sam, can you think of any other highlights before we call this one a wrap?
Um, I kind of liked the kind of like the car chase scene a little bit, but other than that, not really. Like maybe the final fight. Not I mean like the final ring fight. That was pretty dope how it had the was it the snake versus the monkey
The
or
monkey. Yep.
okay, that's actually pretty dope. But other than that, the music was all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That bang bang dang bang. That music is all right.
But yeah, that's what I got from Monkey Man.
Yeah. I really wish that arena stuff had tied more into the plot. Like maybe the dude was over that shit too, right? The police
Mhm,
chief. Yeah, he had his hands in that shit too, where it tied
mhm.
together. It was
Nothing. It was just
directionless.
there. Like, why is he fighting?
Yeah, that was tough. Oh, I got one more that I like. They did do a puppet show. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I like
forgot
puppets.
about that.
I like
Yeah,
puppets. I
I
wish
was
they could have
watching and
just
I was
did
like, "Up, Sam's gonna like that part."
all right, final verdict. Don't watch this shit.
Mm-mm.
I was the I was most excited for this movie out of all the other movies that were to come out the first part of the year, and it let me down. There is one great action set piece, and the others are some are okay, but most are disappointing. I found myself bored most of the time. Even though the protagonist had a clear agenda, the film just slogs him through it, and things just happen. I will not be watching this again ever. Instead, I'll go watch Slumdog Millionaire, then John Wick as a double feature.
Mhm.
That's what they were trying to do. I can do it by combining those two films together in my own brain. Sam, close us out, bro.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Don't watch it. this is not a very good movie. It's not a good movie visually. Like I said, the soundtrack's good. There are some good acting, but the story is not good at all. So don't waste your time, please.
Please, please. Also, as a special note, I'm not trying to be mean. I anytime somebody says that, they probably are gonna be mean, but I don't want to be. No outside food or drink in the movie theaters, please. Oh, my theater was so lit up with food smells. I didn't think I was gonna make it. I had to go put my COVID mask on. It was
Oh boy. PSA.
Yeah, I probably should have prefaced it. I probably should have did like I did on the the Taika Waititi movie.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, where I had to get a little hey, forward. Let me say this. Let me apologize up front because I'm gonna say some bullshit. All right. You know what? Forget it. Take the food in the movie if you want to. Yeah, funk the whole place up. Fuck it. I probably should have left anyway. Thank you for listening to another episode of Watch This Shit. You come here for the realest take on new movies. So make sure you follow us so you're not left in the dark on whether you should check out a new movie or not. If you haven't seen this shit yet, go on about your life. Don't even worry about it. Matter of fact, you're doing good. Damn, you're doing good. Check us out next time when we review Civil War. And good day to you.